Hello everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. Basically, I'm stuck on the side of the road. I ran out of fuel, like most people here in the UK, because apparently there's an energy crisis, even though there isn't one, but there arguably is because there is no fuel in the petrol stations. 3 or 4 hours for someone to come out from breakdown to come and sort me out, so I had two choices. I walk. I find someone nearer that may be able to help me. I went for the second choice. And I thought, well, what am I supposed to do for now? I know what I'll do. I'll get the hotspot up and running just in time and do some videos. And we're going to start, guys, with XDC. Live from the roadside. XDC, guys, one of our biggest holdings portfolio-wise that we have. I've done many videos on this one. A big intro one, actually one of our first videos that we did last year, around June time, I think, when we started the channel. And in all honesty, I knew that XDC XinFin was going to be something that very much came into fruition over the next few years. But certainly this year especially, already the marketing has ramped up, the communication has ramped up, and more importantly, so is the ecosystem of XinFin. Now, we know they changed their logo, and there it's present here, as you can see. A big part of the ITFA, which we covered in a multitude of videos before. But some other interesting parts that I want to touch upon for this video is, of course, WadsPay, which is absolutely brilliant. This, in my opinion, and I know for a fact that in my crypto groups that I have socially, that some people are extremely bullish around this blockchain-based payments platform for digital currencies. WadsPay, in my opinion, is going to be absolutely fantastic as time goes by, and of course, especially recently, this integration with Algorand. Now, why is this of importance? Well, we've said many times when we're talking about the Digital Pound Foundation and CBDCs, Algorand, as well as many others, were part of the advisory board into CBDC systems, and particularly for the Digital Pound Foundation. And of course, now WadsPay being involved with this now interlaces them with an ISO protocol. So we covered this in a video a while back. ISO 20022. This is a new messaging standardization of financial services. So in my opinion, yes, I've got a vast portfolio, but my main focus is these ISO compliant projects, tokens, blockchains, whatever you want to call them. And this is going to be taken off significantly over the next few years. We do Project Jura, Helvetia, all these projects done via BIS and other financial institutions around the world. Go and check those videos out if you haven't watched them before. But for me, it's these sneaky ones, these sneaky projects that hardly really many people talk about, to be honest. I still think the XDC community is quite small, albeit the account holders, the wallet holders, are increasing their positions substantially. As we've done research over these periods of time for XDC, it's growing and growing. And of course, as well, now seeing the news only a couple of hours ago, XDC amongst the naming with the likes of Tradeteq. This is fantastic to see. So the World Trade Organization, WTO, in their latest report, page 38, if you want to go and read that. It's absolutely brilliant, really. Again, full conversations here about frameworks, digital identities, guys. DIDs is going to be massive. And I'm very heavily invested in projects that are related heavily in DIDs. It's all coming together. You just have to connect, guys. All the information's here. All the big organizations, all the big companies, the institutional levels now coming in for this. I think people are very distracted right now with other things, especially outside of crypto as well. Of course, the narratives around the world. Just got to keep following the money, guys. Keep following your instinct and your research. Another thing as well, the XSwap protocol, absolutely brilliant mechanism, powered as well by XDC. I don't stake XSP because it's got a ridiculous minimum requirement. But saying this, of course, these tokens built on XDC. I mean, this is what it's about, guys. Ecosystem. We talk about Zilliqa as one of my favorite projects as well, and of course, main reasons behind that is because of its ecosystem, not just because of what it is as a project and a token, but also what it actually does and what its ecosystem is. And this is my point. XDC is absolutely massive. And there is another thing I want to add here. Fireblocks launches XDC network support. Now, Fireblocks I had to do a lot of research on when I was doing interviews to get into the crypto space. I was doing comparisons for some interviews based on other wallets and other DeFi protocol solutions, and particularly like vaults and institutional management systems. Fireblocks is one of those, and actually their website is pretty decent as well. It's improved a bit more since I last researched these guys, probably, I don't know, 7-8 months ago now. So again, this is absolutely brilliant. So XDC Foundation announced this week that Fireblocks has launched support for the XDC network. This is brilliant. And this is now other avenues into the institutional channels. So when we talked about XinFin and XDC originally, we spoke highly of the hybrid solution that it offers. I'm talking about trade solutions as well as domestic as well, private and public systems, ledger systems. So this is absolutely brilliant. It makes me even more excited about XDC as time goes by. But yeah, of course, the price point, which to be fair, we'll jump into like right now actually. Let's get that up and running in a second. But the price point in itself is quite interesting, because what we've got to understand here is it's still, in my opinion, very, very undervalued. Why is that? I believe because of its existing life cycle, the awareness of it. But I think, like I said, I think there's so many distractions elsewhere. And XDC is very kindly, for me and many other holders and people that want to hold it, staying in these low regions, because I do want to accumulate. In my opinion, from my perspective, out of my whole entire portfolio, no word of a lie, other than Quant and my usual XRP, XM, all this, XDC is actually the one that I personally want to be accumulating the most out of every other thing that I hold. Because that's how much belief I have in, based on the research and the interesting applications that it can have. And I hold like 40 different assets. And like I said, XDC is one of those biggest ones in that portfolio, if not the biggest. But it's one I want to get bigger. And these price points, guys, currently floating around 5.4 cents. Those that were with us before would have been enjoying the journey where we were talking about it as well, around 4 cents, even way back last year, of course. But more importantly, recently, these really low regions of 4 cents, which is absolutely fantastic opportunities to be buying, and that's what I was doing. And even right now we're getting some more stabilization in the last week or so. I've started putting buy orders back in around these parts, very much touching around the areas that we had as buy orders in the history. So we're now matching right now resistance that we saw in the high regions of the 9th, but also lower regions of in January as well. So it's a really critical stage right now, to the point where we are hitting really interesting areas for stabilization and confidence to add to the portfolio. So that's really exciting for me. We've obviously had a bit of a sell-off in the last few days. You can see that here, down here on the histogram. I'm just going to move these RSIs out of the way a bit more. I'm just going to zoom in also, just so we can see that a bit better. So as you can see, a bit of a sell-off here. The RSIs went very high a week or two ago, up to these high regions of 67 on the 14-day and 53 on the 28, which is quite respectable and limbo, to be fair. And these lower regions down here, where we are now, these are really big sweet spots for me, just hovering over that 40 mark on the 14-day, but more importantly on the 28-day closing down as well. So my first buy orders are in as of today, and I will be holding tight. As I said, we're in a bit of a bear mode at the moment as we switched over back here on the 6th on the MACD, or maybe the 5th actually, and just seeing if I can penetrate some buy orders in at that 40 level on the 14-day and potentially lower. We've seen some negativity all over the place at the moment. Inflation, of course, what's going on in the world, don't need to mention those. I think we're all clear on what's going on. And pretty much chaos everywhere. Energy crisis, of which I am literally in the middle of right now because I'm stuck on the side of a road. You can hear all the cars. I do apologise. Nothing I can do about it. Maybe I'll block them. Maybe I'll find one of those signs to say road closed, just so I get some peace and quiet for 20 minutes. How inconsiderate of these drivers. But that's very much where XDC is right now in the price point. And yeah, all I would say is, if it's not in your portfolio or it's something you're looking to put in, this is not financial advice, but my opinion around this matter at the moment is to for sure start considering positions, and also do some risk assessments as well based on data and historic information, about potential lower points as well. Don't just jump in and throw your money in just because you got it and it's there. Be savvy, be strategic. That's all I can say on that matter. But obviously do your own research. Again, don't just take my word in videos. Go and check out some other great channels that cover this project as well. It's one of my favorites, and there's so much more to come. And this ecosystem is going to keep building and building. We've also got Metablocks. Didn't mention Metablocks, of course, the first metaverse project on XinFin blockchain as well. We will cover that a bit more next week. I'm sure there's a few more developments we can cover there. But guys, I'm going to wrap that up. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, I'll be saved soon. But until the next one, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.